Hi and welcome to my very 11th YouTube video, and today I'm going to build a house in Newcrest for my save file. But first I want to introduce you to the family that is going to live there and for whom I want to build this house. And it's a lovely little family. Actually, that family is not that little. It's a pretty big family with 7 members. And the first one that I want to introduce to you is Darian Davids. He is the father of the bunch, and he's a very nice guy. He is very intelligent, and he works in the tech guru career. And he's a geek. He loves programming and video gaming, and he was able to make this his career. And with that, he can provide for the family, even though his wife also provides, because they are a big family, so they need a little bit of money. And the second one is his wife, Kelly, and Kelly is a very cool mother. I really love her pixie cut, and she has a very cool style. You can see in some of her other outfits that she loves that little bit of an androgynous style, and she can wear it very, very well. And at the moment, because her youngest son is still very young, she's a stay-at-home mom, but she's also very talented and works in the business career. So she's a woman that can work really hard because she has that job in the business career, but she also has 5 children, and that's a lot of work that she has to juggle. But she has a very good relationship with her husband, so they manage that together. And now on to her oldest daughter, or both of their oldest daughter, Stella. And Stella is already an adult. She just hasn't moved out yet, and her biggest passion are boys. She loves meeting boys and just gets into one relationship after the other, or if you even can call that relationships. Maybe sometimes it's also just a little bit of pleasure seeking. And that's her thing. And she also was pretty good in school, but now she is searching for a job and not really wants to look into uni and stuff, but she wants to start earning money soon and maybe move out then. And the second oldest child is son. It's Danny Davids, and he's a super nice person. He's very helpful with raising his younger siblings, and he really cares deeply about other people, and he has a big friend group. I created a little club for his friend group, and he's really close with them. And so he has 2 great families, his real biological family and his friends, or his friends group, which is also his family kind of. And then we have the twins, Jennifer and Hannah. And Hannah is the creative one out of the 2. She loves to paint. She also sings a little bit, but her main passion is painting, and she dreams of becoming a famous painter one day. And Jennifer is not as talented, or is frustrated really easily with painting because her sister is just better with it and stuff. So she really focused on school, and that also made her parents really proud. She's a real try-hard in school. And then there still is the youngest, Tim Davids. He just grew up into a toddler, and the whole family really wants to see him thrive and only wants the best for him, but how he's going to develop is still unsure. And with that, we are going into the building of their house. First things first, I want to apologize that for the first few minutes the lighting on this build is so horrible. It was raining in Newcrest when I was building it, and it took me a few minutes to notice why I couldn't get it to look any brighter. And then I cheated a bit and made it sunny, and yeah, then it looked a lot better, but for the first few minutes. Unfortunately, the build is pretty dark, and as you can see, I took a little bit of a different approach. I laid out the locations of the bedrooms first before I decorated the outside, and that was because I didn't want to make the house unnecessarily big, because to make it seem full and lived in, if it would be a very big house, would take a lot of money that I didn't want to use really. But they also have a lot of kids, so I really wanted to make sure that there was at least enough space for everyone to have a bed, a dresser, a mirror, and some item that in somehow reflects their interests or personality. The style of home I'm going for with this is a suburban house, and in this case I wanted to keep the wallpapers to a white, black and grey like color scheme, if you can call it that, if there aren't any colors incorporated, because the other houses in this neighborhood are for the most part black and white, and there is another street in Newcrest where I want to incorporate a little bit more color and reds and stuff, but in this street I wanted to keep it pretty black, white and grey, as I said. And just for the windows, I really like that little touch of brown, and I didn't thought it was too much color because brown is also a pretty muted color. But then before I got to the landscaping, I really wanted to make it look like an idyllic place and really nice, but for that I needed a little bit more light. So with the helps of MC Command Center, the greatest mod ever, I managed very easily to change the weather to make it sunny, and I think with this weather the house looked a lot better already. And then I could start with decorating their garden a little bit. I didn't put any furniture like a grill or anything else like flower pots and stuff into the garden yet, because I first wanted to furnish the house and then look how much money would be left. That didn't quite work out because I already ran out of money on the first floor, so I gave them, I think, 15,000 more simoleons 2 times. So I basically doubled their budget because they had 30,000 initially. And yeah, but I hope that's not a big deal, because there is already a big family living in there, and not every house needs to be a starter house that you can immediately move into, and I really wanted them to have a nice house, and I think it is realistic with 2 working adult Sims that they saved up a little bit of money and could afford a house like this. With the downstairs area, I did the same thing that I had already done upstairs, in that I laid out a little bit of basic furniture to have a marker where which living space would be. And I think it worked out nicely to first have that idea of the whole floor plan and then go into decorating, because that's not something I normally do. I normally do like 1 room at a time and fully furnish and decorate it and stuff, but in this case I really did like wall painting and stuff at the very last. And also it might look really weird to have these two 2x3 rooms directly next to each other, and the one closer to the door will be a bathroom. But the other one, I really wanted to create a little bit of a nice little space for the mother, Kelly, and also for Hannah when she grows up, to have that calm space to paint with a lot of inspiring stuff that actually has that inspiring effect to make it easier for them to gain skills. You also might have noticed that I used some furniture from Tiny Living, even though Newcrest is a base game world, and I wanted to do my save file in a way that even if you had only the base game, you could just download my save file and play with a fuller and hopefully upgraded version of the base game. But also, I love the stuff from Tiny Living, and because Tiny Living, it doesn't have a world specifically because it's just a stuff pack, I wouldn't be able to use Tiny Living at all if I continue my save file like I did now. And so I made a deal with myself that Newcrest is a base game and Tiny Living world. I tried to use Tiny Living in places where it's not essential and more like for decoration and stuff, so that if you load it without having Tiny Living, you won't have missing wallpaper, you won't have a non-functioning kitchen and stuff. I think I used the Tiny Living bed 2 times, and I used the TV from Tiny Living, which are more essential items for your Sims needs, but you can also replace that pretty fast. There is enough money left in the end to make some changes, and I hope that is okay. And even if you don't play in this house but just have it in your neighborhood, you won't even notice that it uses Tiny Living, because I just used Tiny Living on the inside and not on the outside. So it's not that you walk through the streets of your neighborhood and you have just houses without windows or without wallpapers, because that's never nice. And now I've ranted on about Tiny Living for so long that I completely forgot to talk about the bedrooms that I was decorating. So the first one with the pink bed and the guitar is for their oldest sister. I gave her a double bed so she could have some friends or companions over, and the guitar because I thought playing the guitar would be a nice hobby for her to have. And the second bedroom with the blue and yellow bed and stuff, and the little toilet next to the room, that is Danny's room, the boy teenager of this family. With the toddler's bedroom, I tried to fit as many skill building items in there as possible, and I really liked the wallpaper that I found for the parents' bedroom, so I tried to make it feel a little bit like a vacation place, and for them to really have a space where they really could relax and feel home. I wanted to have the parents' bedroom to have a bathroom with a bathtub so that they could bath the toddler, and that would be useful. And then there is also a bathroom for all of them to use in the first floor, but in reality there is only the oldest daughter that doesn't have a bedroom directly next to her bedroom, and that isn't a toddler, so I think mostly she is probably going to use that bathroom. And now onto the twins' bedroom. I thought it was really cool how they shared a room, and I wanted to incorporate a bookshelf for Jennifer and a little kids painting station for Hannah. And I also thought it was really cool how they had a whole floor on their own and also their own little bathroom across the hallway. And I imagine them having a lot of fun up there together. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. And if you would consider subscribing, you would make me super happy. I don't do it for the numbers, but every time I see that there's a new subscriber, and that means to me that there's someone who likes what I'm doing, I sometimes do a little happy dance in my living room. And yeah, I hope we'll see each other again.